I've always struggled with how people think of me and what people think of me. And I know it's not unique. I know I'm really normal like that. Often when I'm, going home from a conversation, I would replay the conversation in my mind and I would think about all the wrong things I said and how the other person's probably obsessing over it and all the clever things I could have said, and all the ways that I could have, missed an opportunity to make them laugh, or all the times I put my foot in my mouth. And if that's something that sounds like you, I can assure you that you're not alone. And while it's a very common thing to feel, it's a very corrosive, unpleasant feeling to constantly feel that you're being judged, you're not funny enough, you're not good enough, and people just don't want your company, or they're laughing at you or talking about you behind your back wherever you go. So let's go into Psychology 101. We don't experience the world as it is. As much as we like to believe we're objective and we see things exactly as they are, the fact of the matter is we experience it through the lens of our thoughts, our fears, our past experiences, and something psychologists call cognitive distortions. So these distortions are the shortcuts the mind takes, but they twist things. So they convince you that your interpretation is the objective truth, when really it is just one possibility filtered through old stories you've carried for years. I'm going to give you an example. Somebody comes to you and says, "You look tired." Now, there are many, many ways that this can be interpreted. Objectively, this might mean they're concerned, they're observing you've had a long week, they're making small talk, or maybe you just look tired. But your mind doesn't hear it objectively. It hears it through whatever distortion is loudest that day. For example, there's mind reading. So this is where you assume you know exactly what is meant without evidence. Your brain instantly fills in the gaps. Oh, they think I look awful. They think I'm not taking care of myself. They think I'm falling apart. You're not reading their mind. You're just projecting your fears onto a neutral comment. Another cognitive distortion is catastrophizing. So here, your brain jumps to the worst case scenario. If they think I look tired, maybe they think that I'm not coping, I'm incompetent, I'm failing at life. Can you see how this innocent, innocuous comment became a whole threat system designed to define who you are and your capacity in life? Could be jumping to conclusions. They must think I look bad. They must be judging me. This is without asking, without checking. You leap straight into negative conclusions. Distortions color reality because the actual comment didn't change. But depending on what distortion grabs the wheels, your entire emotional world shifts. Two people can hear the exact same words and have completely different experiences. So it's not the outside world that hurts us most, it's the meaning we attach to it. Now that you know this, how do we overcome it? The most important thing to realize is that you do not have to believe every thought that your mind gives you. This is the basis of acceptance and commitment therapy. So the ACT approach is not to stop yourself from caring, which is ridiculous. You can't stop yourself caring. It's gentler and it's more realistic. It's about creating space between you and the thought. Not forcing the thought to disappear, just having a different approach to the thought, a different relationship with the thought. So you can name the distortion. Once you start to identify your distortions, that can help. Oh, this is mind reading. This is catastrophizing. This is jumping to conclusions. Labeling the thought doesn't magically solve the feeling, but it interrupts the illusion that the thought is the truth. Another very simple way that you can make some distance between you and the thought is, I'm having the thought that. For example, you go in the bathroom and see yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you see. Instead of just accepting the automatic thought, I'm ugly, try, I'm having the thought that I'm ugly. The third one, which is one I actually learned very recently from my therapist, is would everybody interpret this the same way? If, let's say, 3 other people were in the room and they all heard, you look tired, would they all jump to the same conclusion that you did? Would they all think that that person said you're ugly or you're incompetent? Think about it. So imagine your mum is in the room or your friend is in the room next to you and they heard that person saying that comment to you and you turned to your mum and said,
Mum, what did they mean? Would your mum say, oh, she means you're ugly, or she means you're failing at life? So these are just 3 ways that you can start to gather some distance from these thoughts.
In the end of the day, everybody's focused on their own lives, and everybody comes to the world with their own schemas and filters of how they approach life and people. Even if you're the kindest, most gentle, wonderful human being on earth, how somebody views you is filtered through their own stories and insecurities and expectations and moods and projections. So you could be kind, honest, genuine, and they could still misunderstand you. They could still dislike you. And and you just have to accept that. I was told from young I was very shy, and I didn't talk much at school, and I was told that people thought I was stuck up or aloof, which couldn't be any further from the truth. I thought that they were all way above me, and yet, they misunderstood my quietness and my shyness for feeling as though I was superior to them. No matter what you feel, no matter how you present, people are always going to misconstrue who you are. So trying to act in a certain way to make them feel a specific thing about you is a losing battle, no matter what you do. At some point, you're going to have to make peace with being misunderstood. You're going to have to make peace with being disliked. Because you are always going to be disliked. There is no person on earth that is universally liked. Takes a while, but allowing yourself to understand that people are just going to think whatever they think, no matter what you do. And it's about choosing peace over perfection. It's not about not caring. It's about accepting that you will care. It will hurt sometimes because some people that you really want them to like and you just don't get why they don't like you, they're just not going to like you. But in the end of the day, how much energy do you have to spend trying to convince somebody that you're not what they think you are, or that you're more likable, funnier than they think you are? That's when real freedom begins. Again, there is a temptation to think of freedom as reaching a point of not caring, but you're never going to reach that point. It's when you realize that you can't control it either way, so you can stop trying to. The next time your mind spirals, wondering how you come across or whether someone likes you, take a breath and remind yourself they're allowed their thoughts, and I'm allowed my peace. Because their opinions are none of your business in the end of the day. And you don't know their opinions anyway. That's another important point. For all you know, they might like you, but they might just show it in a different way. Think about all the times that you have disliked somebody and what might be going through their minds. Maybe they're wondering why you dislike them. And maybe you don't even know why you dislike them. And you didn't know it was causing them so much emotional turmoil. I do this thing often sometimes when, for example, if I've messed up or I've embarrassed myself tremendously, I switch the roles and imagine it's somebody that I look up to and admire who did that thing that I did. And I just wonder if I would think that they're the most pathetic human being on earth or whatever horrible thoughts I have about myself. Try that. Try imagining somebody you look up to doing what you did and think that if you really would think of them as bad as you're thinking of yourself. Most of the times we are our own worst enemy. So just remember, you're not broken for caring. You're human. It's okay to care. It's okay to want to not care what people think. But you will always care. And you can't control it, so you may as well do you.